100% of pay. So now, as they do their work, as they do their duty, they don't have to be concerned, will my family be taken care of? Also this past session, I sponsored legislation that protects the health of the woman and protects the life of the unborn. Governor Rick Scott signed that into law. And then finally, character. I've learned in my 58 years that if I try to do things what I think are best in my own eyes, I have a tendency to err. We all do. We're all human and we all make mistakes. But because I'm a Christian, I've learned that if instead I rely on a rock that is higher than I, and that's the Bible, then my tendency to err has been diminished. As your next state senator, it will be my responsibility to bring you what I call good public policy. Good public policy consists of, is it constitutional? Is it fiscally responsible? Will it fix the problem? And is it morally sound? I have a legacy in my family of men who have served in the military and swore an oath to that Constitution. My grandfather served in the Army in World War II. My father served in the Air Force in Vietnam. I was honored to graduate from the Air Force Academy and serve in the Air Force during peacetime. I have a son, Jonathan, United States Marine Corps, infantry, rifleman, who is deployed right now in the Middle East. Each one of us and every other veteran in here said the same oath. That I do solemnly swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and took that oath without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And all you veterans will recognize this. That oath, you were not released from that oath when you left the military. It's a lifetime commitment to protect and defend that Constitution. I will do that, and I'm getting a signal I need to wrap it up. I will do that because of my oath and because of the men and women around this world right now who say that same oath that I'm obligated to protect, just like they are protecting us. I would be honored to be your next state senator, and I hope I get your vote on August 30th. Mike Hill. Thank you so much.
Frankly, I always enjoy hearing Mike Hill speak. And when he ran 3 years ago, that speech reverberated around the state. People were so excited to see Mike Hill. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of disappointment in his performance. And I hate to say that because he's my friend. I can only speak so loud. The reality is this race is about trust. Not what you get in the mail, not what you hear on the radio. It's what's the truth. Let me tell you how you verify truth. I can get up here and tell you all kind of great things about myself. But that's my testimony. Whose testimony are you going to believe? Well, let me give you some people that you should believe. The NRA has endorsed me. They know that when I tell them something, I'll do it. The Florida Chamber endorsed me. They're the driver of the business throughout this state. They trust me that when I tell them something, I'm going to do it. Mike just mentioned some bills he sponsored. He failed to mention he co-sponsored those. None of his bills made it through committee. There's a big difference between I co-sponsor a lot of bills, but they're not my bills. They have someone else's name on them. The fact is, you got to say with accuracy what you believe and what you will do. That's the reason the governor of the state of Florida came to Santa Rosa County this week to speak on my behalf and to tell everyone there that when Doug Broxton shakes your hand, he'll do what he says he's going to do. That's big. That's not only big here in Jay, it's big in Tallahassee. People that flip-flop around on their commitment are not trusted. That's why every major endorsement I've gotten. Am I the best legislator in Tallahassee? Absolutely not. Because there's a lot of people that do a lot of things that I can't do. But I'll tell you one thing. If you walk in my office, and many of you have, and you tell me something and I say I'm going to do it, you don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sign a letter one day and then the next day vote against it. That's not how it works. So look at the other testimony. Look what people say about who I am and what I've done. I will tell you the truth. I will not back up on my word. And when I give an oath, I believe in that oath too, and I did give an oath. Look at the evidence. Look at the commitments of people that know me and trusted me and know that my family's been here for over 200 years, steadfast, dealing with issues, trying to promote the welfare and goodwill of all the people of this county. If you do that and you're a student of what reality is, you'll vote for me. Because look at the testimony. The testimony will say that Doug Broxson is who he says he is, and he backs up his word with performance. Thank you, and God bless you.
I appreciate it. So maybe to backtrack and hear a little more, we're going to have the next candidate stand right here on the line between the J precinct and the Coon Hill precinct. We have no Hill not for J. J votes on this side, Coon Hill votes on this side, and the Williamson side. So we're going to go state red, Supreme red, Williamson. There's no point off. Nobody else here. So.
Which precinct has more voters? I know what
You
side.
want to do that? 5 minutes.
Well, good afternoon. My name is J.R. Williamson, and I'm a candidate for Florida House District 3. I'm a little louder, I'll be yelling. I'm an electrical contractor and business owner of Williamson Electrical Company in Milton. I was very blessed that when I graduated from the University of West Florida in 2002, I had a family business to go into. I started out as a third man on an electrical truck, moved my way up to being a helper, then ran my own crew, and finally moved into the office where I'm president and owner today. Throughout that work career, I met my wife, Lindsay. She actually showed up on my doorsteps. It wasn't FedEx or UPS that brought her to me, but her cousins lived across the street. They introduced us. We were engaged in 3 months, and we were married 3 months later. The moral of that story is I like to get to work fast, which should be beneficial for you when I serve you in the Florida House next session, especially with term limits. Lindsay and I have 2 children. Our son Brooks will be 5, October the 18th. Our daughter Rylan will be 3, August the 27th. Brooks went and knocked on doors with me today, and he's a great campaign helper because he works for peanuts, literally. He wanted boiled peanuts and an icy. That's all I had to pay him today to help me knock on doors. But Rylan and Brooks are one of the reasons that I want to run for state representative for their future and for the future of the other children in our community. One thing I always say is that I feel I have a lot of things that make me the most qualified candidate for this race. One of them is I have debated a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I'm not going to say that I won those debates, but I certainly have debated them just about every night about 8 o'clock before it's time to brush their teeth and go to bed. I had 2 men that were very influential in my life. That was my grandfather, W.L. Butler, and my father, Jim Williamson. And they taught me you take care of your community, and your community will take care of you. That was our business motto at Williamson Electric. Take care of your community, and your community will take care of you. But it was also a motto that you should live your life by. That's why I started out at an early age giving back to nonprofits throughout our community. I was 15 years old, and I would go to the big brothers and big sisters and tutor children after school. And that gave me the love for community service, which led to finally in 2008 forming an organization called the Santa Rosa Young Professionals, which gave young professionals in Santa Rosa County the opportunity for networking, professional development, and volunteerism. And that is an organization, nonprofit, that's still in existence today. As many of you know, 2 years ago, whenever my father passed away, Governor Rick Scott appointed me for a 5-month term to serve as your county commissioner for District 1. I like to say that I was the commissioner from South Pace, and Salter was the commissioner from North Pace, but I've never found North Pace on a map, Commissioner Salter. It's always been Shamuckla whenever I see it on a map. But for those 2 years as public service and 2 years to serving as a county commissioner were 2 of the greatest years of my life, and a great learning experience. I served as Public Service Chairman, Public Works Chairman. I served as the Economic Development Chairman the last year, and I was very honored to get the support of commissioners and city council men and women across all of Northwest Florida, and served as the Florida Alabama TPO Chairman, which is the Transportation Planning Organization. They set up 5-year work plans and 2040 plans and all the things that go into our state roads. And the TPO here is Florida and Alabama, so I've had a lot of different experience dealing with those organizations when it comes to our future infrastructure here in Northwest Florida, and I think that'll be beneficial when I go to the State House and serve you. I want you to let me use my 20 years of volunteerism, my 13 years of work experience, and my 2 years of public service to serve you in the State House. I'm endorsed by the NRA. I'm a lifetime member of the NRA. I'm proud to stand up for your Second Amendment rights. I'm proud to have the support of the co-ops, including your co-op right around the corner. I'm proud to have the support of the Farm Bureau. I'll be somebody that you can contact. I will be the most accessible state representative I feel that there's ever been, and I can't wait to be your next state representative and serve you in Tallahassee. It will be an honor of my life to have your vote on August 30th. Thank you for having me today, and time is up. 1 minute, I don't need a minute. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're gonna break for an advertisement. So, the Historical Society's done a lot of great things in Jay. I don't know how many of y'all know about Jay, but it's a fascinating place, and we have some great authors in the area. One of the first books we ever published is Taste and Tales of Grapevine Level. This is a bunch of family stories, recipes. There's even a recipe for roasted goat in your Frigidaire. There's probably about 15 pound cake recipes. And then the proceeds from this book, the donations we got, paid for the commercial air conditioning system we had put in our museum. We sold, I believe, about 500 copies in the first 3.5 months when it was published. One of the other books we have today is Waiting Deer. This is written by Miss Gaillier Miller, who was a professor at University of West Florida. It's an incredible book about some of the history of the families in this area. These are all available along with 3 other books for a $20 donation to the Jay Historical Society. So after you eat your fish, in between some of the candidates, go and check these books out. Gaillier's here to sign. This is a labor of love for all of us. There's some great pictures in it. You might find your granny or your mama and daddy or your Aunt Sue.
I'm Bobby Michael, president of the Historical Society, and what Jay didn't tell you was that was her project. And she put it all together, did a great job, and we're still selling those books. And we have a lot of other books over there for sale. And I tell this to a lot of people, if you buy one of our books today, and you take it home and read it, don't mark it, don't bend the pages or anything like that, and you don't like it, you don't want it, we'll take it back. No questions asked. If you don't want it, we'll take it back. Not going to give you your money back, but you don't get that guarantee everywhere else. Hey, we got a lot of mullet back here, coleslaw, baked beans, hush puppies. So eat back there and just make it a good time, okay?
Okay, on to some county elections. We're going to go to School Board District 2. First candidate is Mr. Clinton Buddy Highnose.
Good evening. How y'all doing? First of all, let me express my appreciation to the Jay Historical Society for providing this opportunity for us to be here. I'll do my best to project. I'm not as well versed as a speaker as Mr. Hill and some of these others, so y'all go ahead and be patient with me a little bit. I'm a lifelong resident of Santa Rosa County. I have been married to my wife Pam for 40 years. This is her right here, and we have 2 children who are products of the Santa Rosa County school system. Have 4 grandchildren. It's coming along, and one of them's about to enter the school system here in Santa Rosa. So we have a lot of connections here in this district. I'm a deacon and Sunday school teacher at Olive Baptist Church in Pensacola. As far as my education is concerned, I have a Bachelor of Science from Emory University with a major in biology and a minor in chemistry. And I have my master's degree in education administration from the University of West Florida. So that gives you a little bit of my bio and a little bit about me. But most of you probably know me as Leon Hino's son. That was my dad, and I've been fortunate enough to have a godly man as a dad. And as I interacted with many of you today, you said, were you related to Leon Hino? And I was blessed to be able to say, yes, that was my father. I'm an educator who served as a teacher and administrator in this county for 37 years. And I believe that education is an important gift that we give to our children, and it's vital to our future. It's extremely important. And a school board member, I feel, needs credentials in order to serve and in order to do an effective job. And I share with you my 37 years of service, my past service, matched with my passion for this district and this community as the credentials that qualify me for this particular position. I believe experience counts. And I have a lot of experience in the education field. I know education from the classroom to the boardroom because I've been involved in both ends of that spectrum. I understand why this district has been successful in the past, and I understand how we can do better. And as a board member, just a couple of things that I think we need to go back to the 7-period day for our middle school and high schools. That will give our teachers a break throughout the day with some planning periods spread out throughout the day, and also provide some additional curricular opportunities for our students. Right now, they're limited. 24 credits, only 24 opportunities to earn those credits. We need to expand that opportunities for them and provide that for them. I believe I have the ability and the knowledge to understand those complex issues that we're faced with in our district. Social issues we're faced with the transgender issue that's coming before us, the accountability issues we have in our district, and certainly always in Santa Rosa County we have to deal with financial issues. I've been in the trenches and I know I've dealt with these problems in the past. I was served as the director of high schools for the last 5.5 years of my career, and I've worked with board members and I've worked with various district individuals, and I understand that experience counts. And I want to relay that experience into as being a board member. I believe I have an experience that allows me to knowledge, that gives me an advantage to hold schools and employees and the superintendent accountable. I believe we have to hold them accountable. I understand what excellence is. Again, I know how we can continue to be excellent and help those individuals continue to have that legacy of excellence in our school district. Why do I want to be a board member? Several reasons. Number one, as an educator, I understand how vital a quality education is to our children. Okay? It's vital. Number two, as a parent community member, I understand the need for accountability. But folks, listen, I'm a cancer survivor. I want you to know that. Okay? I had a bone marrow transplant about 8 months ago. And while I was recovering from that, I thought about how the good Lord had blessed me and brought me through this, and by the way, I'm in remission right now, okay? I understood, and I got a message that I need to continue to serve. And that's what I want to do. I want to serve the citizens of Santa Rosa County by being your board member. Your board member. Please vote for me, school board member, District 2. Thank you.
Mr. Poole had to attend the graduation of his son at Auburn University. So I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you very much. Like she said, that Joe's attending today his son's graduation from Auburn, and he asked me to come and read some words for you today. Good afternoon, I'm Joseph Poole, candidate for School Board District 2. I've been married to my wife Maria for 25 years, and we are proud parents of 6 sons and a daughter. Maria is a Milton native and teaches high school math part-time, and we have raised and are raising all of our children here. I am originally from Hollywood, Florida, and am a graduate of the University of Florida with a dual bachelor's degree in animal science and building construction. I have worked as a biologist at Shands Hospital, worked briefly as a private building contractor, taught high school drafting and chemistry, and coached for 10 years in this county, and have been employed in the private sector of medical sales for the past 16 years. I have been actively involved in my church and community, serving as a deacon, Royal Ambassador Director, Adult and Youth Sunday School teacher, City of Milton Committees, Pregnancy Resource Center Board of Directors, School Advisory Councils, and I have coached Little League athletics and soccer to basketball to baseball for more than 15 years. Why am I running for school board? 4 reasons. Josiah, Joseph, Joshua, and Jeremiah. These are my youngest 4 of our children, and they will be attending Santa Rosa County schools in the fall in the 12th, 11th, 8th, and 3rd grade, respectively. Our oldest 3 children, James, Anna, and Jonathan, have all graduated from Santa Rosa County schools. As you can see, I have a vested interest in the matters of the county schools and have had for some time and will have for many years to come. I have the unique perspective of have been on the inside looking out from the classroom for 10 years, for the past 16 years from the eye-opening vantage point from the outside looking in. I've been in meetings with staff at every level, from the classroom all the way to the Canal Street boardroom, in regards to everything from academics, field days, A-team, class rank, athletics, to appropriation of school funds. I left many of these meetings with little or no results, and oftentimes with the buck being passed further up the ladder. I'm ready to be that next rung on the ladder. My wife and I have always chosen to take an active role in the education of our children, never leaving anything to chance. We've made it a practice to always meet and or talk with counselors and administrators in regards to the best teacher selections for each of our children, as well as be active on school advisory councils, booster clubs, chaperone field trips, and be in attendance at all of our children's extracurricular activities. Field days, fall festivals, chorus concerts, band concerts, swim meets, golf, tennis matches, volleyball, football, basketball, soccer, and baseball games. That's a lot. I have experienced firsthand the effects of the 3-tier bus schedule, a shortened academic day, the Common Core curriculum, days upon days of standardized testing, a $650 price tag to participate in just one public school athletic sports program, teachers working without a dedicated planning period, less instruction time with yet more demands, and the list could go on and on. Those experiences walk through the doors of my home daily from elementary, middle school, and high school. That's why I'm here. I've watched as my youngest has been frustrated while trying to work through confusing wording on simple math concepts with his mom, who is a math teacher, and have had to learn multiple strategies for adding 8 and 7, count forward the way you and I learned how to do it, double plus 1, doubles minus 1, make a group of 10 and add 5, etc. That's Common Core. I've had a front row seat for discovery education assessments as early as kindergarten, as many as 3 times a year, and then Florida standard assessments in reading and writing, and the end of course exams in Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Biology, and Geometry, and that count 30% of the students' average for each of those courses, yet neither the teachers nor the students ever get to see those tests. I forked out untold sums of money for public schools athletics and watched as my high school student athletes drag off the bus at 10:30 or 11 at night, having not been home since the start of the school day, with homework still left to be done. Maybe the school start time should be earlier than 9:15 would be helpful. In addition to what I see and hear from my own wife and children, I have talked with many, many teachers. They are disheartened. They're told how wonderful they are, what a noble profession they have chosen, and how much of a difference they make in the lives of the children every day. And that's all true. However, our county couldn't seem to find the funds to give them the appropriate raises in a timely manner or give them the dedicated planning period to prepare for such a noble profession. Lip service doesn't mean much. I've always been taught that actions speak louder than words. There's no doubt that we have one of the best school systems around. That's one of the reasons my wife and I stayed here to raise our children. However, there is always room for improvement. Our county has recently slipped to a B, and most of the schools in the county dropped a letter grade or two. How do we improve? Give the reins back to the teachers in the classroom. Let them do what they've been trained to do and best know how to do. Let them practice their profession and treat them as such by rewarding them not only with words, but at the bank. Let's work to put our
Okay, I'm on city council. I know y'all like to talk, but let's keep it, I go 5.5, but let's keep it at 5 so everybody gets a chance without everybody else getting worn out. So, who do we want up next? Let's go with a race to replace Jeff Miller. And let's start with Mr. Greg Evers. This is the congressional group for District 1. Now y'all really gotta keep it at like 5.5.
I'm from jail, it'll take me 5 minutes to tell what my name is. You pretty much all know me. I'm Greg Evers. I graduated high school in 1973 right here at Jay. Coach Mack was the coach. Okay, so I got this back in the back. That means I need to speak up so you can hear me. I first ran in 2001 because I wanted somebody to represent me that would be willing to assist me and give me their cell number and take care of things if I had a problem. That's all I asked for. Ultimately, I couldn't find anybody that I felt would do that, so what I did was I wound up running myself, which was probably the worst move in my life. But you know what? I've enjoyed the opportunity to service people and give folks public service because I've always been there. And if you've been fortunate enough to have to call my phone because you had a problem, how many of you know that I answered my phone? But let's talk about something just a minute. This is a stupid question, but how many of you here are related to a farmer? If you are, raise your hand. Okay? Pretty much everybody in the room. Okay, what do you know about farmers? They work hard, their words are bond, and they do what they say they're going to do. Look, our country is in trouble. The trains run off the track, and especially for our VA. Our veterans, those folks were willing to give the ultimate sacrifice, and we've let them down. Our government has let them down. And it's time that we do something about it. Another issue that we've got is the overspending that we do. In Florida, I was used to having to work under the Constitution that said we don't have a balanced budget. Just think how great the economy would be in America if we had a balanced budget. That's one of the first bills that I want to file, is to have a balanced budget in the state of Florida. The other thing that I look forward to is starting that balanced budget process with what we call zero budget. Because in the base budget of all these federal agencies, there's stuff that's been hidden away for the last 100 years. Well, guess what? It's time that we start with a blank piece of paper and we start listing the necessities that we feel like we have to have. And then let's build a budget and see how much we can cut out of that budget. But let me tell you another thing. Our military is in dire straits. We need to do what Ronald Reagan did, and we need to up our military one more time. Let's build it back. Because we need the ability to negotiate from a position of strength, not from weakness. So, as a farmer, trying to do what I feel is right, trying to work through the political process, I want to tell you how much I appreciate the past 15 years you've given me the opportunity to serve you, and I look forward to serving you. Look, I'm 61 years old. This is not going to be a career. Trust me. I want to do like Don Salter when I grow up and go to the house eventually, when he goes to the house. In fact, I may go to the house when Don Salter goes to the house. But with that, God bless you all. Thank you for giving me the ability to talk. Was I under 5 minutes?
Yes, you're 2 minutes.
Absolutely. Thank you all. That's vote for Greg Evers, in case y'all didn't remember who I was.
Thank you, Greg. All right, now we have Mark Wickers. Did I pronounce it right?
Well, it's actually Wishart, like I wish
Wishart.
Congress would earn their paycheck.
So Mark Wickers.
I guess you got my name right. So I am Mark Wisher, and I came today with my beautiful wife Laura and my daughter Madison in the back. And we've been married 17 years now, or actually on the 14th of this month we'll be married 17 years. I'm the son of a Korean War veteran, the brother of a recently deceased Vietnam veteran, because of the Veterans Administration. So that is going to be obviously on my platform. It was in 2014 when I ran against Jeff Miller as well, because that is a major issue we have. But one of my main focuses is on our next generation. Our children's education is completely lost now. There are so many things that are going on, and I have to tell a story here briefly because my daughter's with her and I have to embarrass her. She was in junior high last year, and I made her bring home her history book. My background is U.S. history, world history, and Austrian economics. So I made her bring home the history book, and she brought it home to me, and I said, and I went through the whole history book, and I went through and I put Post-it notes everywhere in the book where the history was wrong. And I said, Madison, please give this to your teacher. I want to meet with him. It took her 3 weeks to get the book to me. But finally, he gave me a phone call and says, Mark, I want to let you know that I voted for you last time, and you're 100% correct. I said, so why are you teaching my daughter the wrong history? Because you don't understand. It's the curriculum. She went through the entire year and had to learn 2 histories. And at the end of the year, they actually awarded her a history award for the first time ever at ECMS, which we're all the way over in Walton County. So I was very proud of her. They made up for that 1 C on her report card because she was in some deep trouble for that C. But, we have some other issues coming in with the VA. The VA has been a problem, and it's something that needs to be addressed. We put out a plan 2 years ago to fix the VA. So far, nothing has really happened toward that plan, but it involves making sure that each one of our veterans get a medical card through the free market rather than going through the VA. I'd actually like to see the VA moved from under the cover of the bureaucracy that runs it now and move it to the free market and force the VA hospitals to compete with the other hospitals. That's my goal. I want to see that happen because people like my brother would not have passed away if they would have had a better opportunity to see a better doctor or even get in to see him. It took him 6 months to get the appointment. Some other issues we have going on that we have to address is going to be obviously the EPA and the size of our federal government. We have a $19 trillion, soon to be a $21 trillion debt. Every one of our children born today are born with a $135,000 debt upon their birth. The only way we're ever going to address this issue is to address the main causes. And the main cause, number one, is first and foremost the Federal Reserve Bank. How many are aware that the Federal Reserve Bank is a private bank? It creates money from thin air, loans it to our government at interest. In order for us to pay the interest, that's where the IRS comes in. All the money that we pay, according to Ronald Reagan's 1983 Grace Commission report, goes directly to pay the interest on the money borrowed from the Fed. It does not go to the United States government. That means we work 3 months out of the year to pay a tax that should not exist on interest that should also not exist because it's based on money created from thin air. Now, the bankers are making money on us left and right on interest payments. No politician talks about this, but this is the core problem. The more loans they make, the more money they make. That means you're going to continually get overexpanded government. You're going to have wars that we're going to be fighting. They're always undeclared. And absolutely positive, these wars are not fought to be won or lost. They're fought to be sustained. Because the more money this country borrows, the more we transfer our God-given rights away to the international bankers that run our monetary policy in the United States today. I have a 17-point plan because I understand the fact that I'm going in as a congressman, as a freshman congressman. And people who think you're going to go into Congress and make change the first day is not taking a dose of reality whatsoever. So what we did is we went together and put together a plan based upon my background, which is building small businesses. We've now helped over 50 businesses reach that $1 million mark and created well over 1,000 jobs on small business, which is the backbone of the country. We include that. We're dealing with the sheriff's department, and we're making sure that we have constitutional sheriffs. How many of you know that the constitutional sheriff has the ability to do the federal government in his jails if they exceed their federal limits? Absolutely. But if we don't have a constitutional sheriff, which hopefully you'll be able to speak to them, and I've not met with them yet, but hopefully you vote on a constitutional sheriff because they're the ones who are going to protect us. In order for us to return this country back, we need to go back to the Constitution of the United States of America and eliminate every department of the federal government that's not authorized by this book. That includes the EPA, the Department of Energy, Department of Education, all the way down the line. If you really want to change, there is already a budget in here. How many of you guys are aware there's 17 powers by Congress? That's it. We have a budget. We just don't follow it. We allow the federal government to step over their bounds and steal from us day in and day out. It's time that we stop. It's time that we wake up and realize that we are being robbed blind because the dollar is worth 2 cents now. That means we're paying a 98% tax on our labor on every dollar that we create and bring in. 98%, and that's before taxation. So my goal is to make sure that I got to end up here. So my name is Mark Wisher, and I'll be talking about a lot of different things. And these 2 core problems, I didn't even mention jurisdiction, another complicated issue. But please look for me on the ballot on August 30th. Again, my name is Mark Wisher. Please view my plan that's on our website at wisherforcongress.com. Thank you.
We're going to go with Brian Frazier next. And what we'll do, because I understand the congressional candidates have to go to something over in Crestview, we'll take like a 15-minute break when we get through hearing all of them so y'all can mingle and ask questions, get something to eat, and we'll start right back up.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having us out to introduce ourselves to those of you who haven't met us and listen to what we have to say. In the congressional race to take Jeff Miller's seat, there's 8 people registered and qualified to be the Republican nominee. One of whom none of us have ever met, and the rest of us, as you're going to see, we sound pretty familiar on the issues. We're all conservatives. We're all pretty much close to constitutional conservatives. We would like a constitutional government. As Mark said, we want to get rid of things like the Department of Education. So you heard a lot about education tonight. We want local control back in our schools so our administrators and our teachers and our families can decide how our kids are taught and what they learn, not some faraway little group of people in Washington, D.C. that have no idea the needs of the children in Jay, Florida. So that said, we are very similar on the issue. We're conservatives. I think the problem why the federal government is out of control, it's not the Constitution's fault. It's because we continue to send unqualified, unprincipled people to Washington, D.C. So I ask you to vote for the most qualified person to go to Washington, D.C. and represent you. I'm going to tell you now why I believe I'm the most qualified person. The federal government should do one thing primarily, and that's national defense. Outside of that, it's supposed to set the environment for us to exercise our God-given rights that are reiterated to us in the Constitution and reiterated one more time in the Bill of Rights. It just clarifies what our rights already are. It doesn't give us any rights. They're God-given, not man-given. I'm a retired Navy captain. I entered the Navy in 1988, and I retired in 2013 and moved home. We first came to Pensacola, Florida in 1975 when my father, who's seated over here, was stationed at NAS Pensacola. At that time, I met who was going to be my wife, Lisa Edens. We've been married now for 26 years. We have 2 children. They're both going to be at Florida State University next year. That's also where I graduated in 1987. I went there from Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I went to 2 years of high school at Woodham High School. Then I went to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina when my father was transferred up there. I went to Florida State on an athletic scholarship, so when I came out of college, I had no obligation to join the Navy. I joined because I wanted to serve my country. I was there when Desert Storm happened, and I was there for everything in between, including Somalia, including Bosnia, all the little conflicts that have kind of been forgotten. My family and I lived in Japan in the outskirts of Tokyo when 9/11 happened, and we were part of the forward deployed naval force, so I was out there with my entire family. My kids were little bitty at that time, and that's the nation's 911 force out there. We're called because we're already there. 9/11 happened 48 hours later. I left my wife and 2 small children just outside of Tokyo and deployed to answer the call of my nation, which I have been doing for 25 years. I commanded a squadron in San Diego, an operational aviation squadron in the Navy. I know what it is to man, train, and equip our forces. I've had to make those hard life and death decisions when all good options have been taken off the table. And I did it successfully. I never lost a sailor, and we deployed people in multiple, simultaneous, complex operations all over the world. I had capital assets worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and I led men and women that numbered in the hundreds. The last 4.5 years I was on active duty, I worked for other agencies. I went to work most of the time in a coat and tie, and then I went back into uniform. But up there I dealt with the Guantanamo Bay terrorists on a DOD task force and then a Department of Justice-led task force. I understand the mindset of the global jihadi movement better than most people will ever understand it. And I don't expect everybody to understand it. You can't understand it because most of that is kept at the top secret, SCI SAP level, the kind of stuff that if you were on Hillary Clinton's unclassified network, you'd know all about it too. But look, when the last 3 years I was in Washington, D.C., I spent that time at a place called the Defense Threat Reduction Agency. I led Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, government service, and federal government contractors leading the most elite anti-terrorism forces, both domestically and globally. We traveled all over the world, and I understand the problem, again, better than anyone. Again, I'm most qualified because I've been there and done it. I've been a family member of a military family. I've been a service member. I am the only retiree from the U.S. Armed Forces in this race, and I am a veteran. I understand what needs to be done for all those people, and that is a national security issue. I ask you to vote for competent professional leadership to represent you in Washington, D.C., and my time is up. Please visit electavet.com. Thank you for your time.
Stop it.
It just keeps going. It'll do 3 days. Go ahead and turn.
It's interesting, Brian, in there talking about the TSSCI security clearance. That's exactly what I had in the Air Force. Spent 4 years in the Air Force. I was an airborne cryptologic linguist. Speak 2 Afghan languages. And my job was to support our troops on the ground, give them the intelligence they needed to do their job, finding IEDs, finding those threats. You want to talk about veterans and national security, you need to send somebody up there who's going to put their money where their mouth is. Somebody who's actually already served the country. I am a veteran. A couple of these other people here tonight are veterans. You want to talk about taking care of our veterans, you want to talk about supporting our troops, that's where your vote needs to be going to. Not some more career politicians that have already messed things up enough, okay? Big other thing that I want to talk about besides veterans and national security is reforming government. We're not going to do anybody any favors with slashing and burning the government. What we have to do is revise the way we do our regulation. We are in an internet age, and we're still regulating with pencil and paper. We start having more efficient regulations. Go back and trash some of those regulations that are decades old. Write them for a modern world. Let small businessmen be able to operate their businesses without a regulation from 1955. That's how we're going to grow the economy. That's how we're going to make government work more efficiently. We're going to get more out of our tax dollars. That's how you're going to cut down on the deficit, because a government that works efficiently is a government that doesn't waste money. Going back to the troops, my argument is that Congress needs to assert itself against the executive branch. We have 3 separate but equal branches of government in this country. Congress is supposed to fulfill its Article 1, Section 8 duties, not just simply take marching orders from the president. Whether that president is a Republican or a Democrat, it does not matter. My job as your congressman is to make sure that government has checks and balances and make sure that when we send troops overseas, we have a clear national security threat. We have a clear goal in mind to pursue that national security threat,
And we have a clear plan of action to go there, win, and bring our people home. When it comes to the veterans, you cannot disassociate veterans issues with national security issues. Veterans budget should be tied to the expectations we have for our troop buildup. If we have 3 million people in our armed forces right now, we need to understand that in the next 5 to 20 years, those people are going to be getting out, and we need to allocate the funds accordingly. The Veterans Affairs budget should be tied, at least loosely, to the defense budget. Not some back angle discretionary spending that when everything else we pay for, the welfare, the super carriers, nuclear energy, whatever, oh, now we're going to take care of our veterans with whatever's left over. That's wrong, and it's got to stop. All right, my name's Stephen Speck. I don't need my whole 5 minutes because that's what I came here to say. Take care of our troops. Take care of our veterans. Take care of the people that are in my family, including my lovely wife and my father and my brother, all of whom have served this country honorably. And finally, reform government to make it work efficiently and use our tax dollars the best way they can. That's how we're going to build this country and grow this country. Go to StephenSpecht.com, StephenSpecht.com, find out a little bit more about me, and send a veteran to Congress. Thank you.
Chris Joseph. Did I say that right?
That's right.
Okay. Chris Joseph will be our last congressional candidate. Then, like I said, we'll take a 15-minute break to let you guys know about top candidates, and we'll start right back up with county commissioners. And value fish plates. We got plenty of mullet.
Thank you very much. Good to be here with y'all. I'm Jay. My wife and I reside in Pensacola. Can you hear it? A little louder? All right. I'll put on my command voice. Can you all hear me now?
Yeah.
Good. All right. My wife and I reside in Pensacola. We've been there since 2009 permanently. I'm a Gator. Went to school in 1984, graduated, and was commissioned in the Marine Corps. 1986, I came through NAS Pensacola, received my wings, and learned how to fly the A-6 Intruder. Spent 4 years in a gun squadron. Went to Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point. Did 2 West PAC deployments and Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I planned a day 1, wave 1 attacks for the Marine Corps into Iraq. 40 days later, we caught those Iraqis trying to get out of Kuwait City. We ended the war. I came back home. I became the Marine Officer Instructor at Northwestern University. I also instructed at Officer Candidate School at Quantico, Virginia. My wife and I have been married 30 years. We've got 8 children. In fact, we've got more children than all the other candidates running for Congress combined. What I want to illustrate here is that we're invested in this country. Our oldest son just started medical school at the University of Florida this week. Our second son is an infantry officer with 6 Marines at Lejeune. Our youngest son is working with us on a campaign. My wife Lisa is here. And our youngest daughter, Sophia, is in the back. She just completed the 4th grade. 5 of our children are going to be out of the house. 2 of them are attending University of Florida. Things are getting a little slow. I decided to run for Congress. Keep myself busy and out of my wife's way. Folks, I've been a businessman, a small businessman for the last 20 years. And that is what I'm really most concerned about. Because without a healthy economy, without strong small businesses in this country, we don't have an American country. We have a third world country. We have a banana republic, where there's a lot of people that have a lot of money, and the rest of us are figuring out how to live on scraps. That's not the United States that I was born to come into, and that's not why my parents came from Europe back in the day. They were here. I'm a first generation. I'm an immigrant son and daughter. I'm an immigrant son. My parents were from Europe. My mother was from Spain, and my father was from Bulgaria. Bulgaria was part of the Soviet Union's Iron Curtain. He escaped there back in 1948 from Czechoslovakia. So he was not able to go back to his home country for 40 years. He left a sister, 2 sisters. One of them was 3 years old when he left. He wasn't allowed to go see his family until she was 43 years old. I understand what it means when you have a government that doesn't care for its people and treats them like slaves. And right now, what you see happening there, especially if you own a small business or you're an employee of a small business, you're coming to realize you're doing more work for the government than you are for your people. And that's a problem. I can guarantee you this, when I go to Washington, any legislation that further encumbers small businessmen and farmers, I am going to do everything I can to stop it. In fact, I'm going to do everything, I'm going to focus on that first and foremost. But you get a double deal on electing me. Because I'm not only am I a businessman, but I'm also a military officer. National security comes in three significant legs of a stool. We have our military readiness, we have our economic strength, and we have our border security. Any one of those legs not fully implemented, and the stool doesn't set up properly. I understand that. And I understand what it is we need to do. We need to make sure our national security and our military is strong. It must be strong. If you want to preserve peace in this world, you need an American military that is strong, where people understand when we speak, they listen. That's how it's supposed to work. We need an economic system that works for the people of America and doesn't give all of our private enterprise and all of our secrets to the Chinese. We're not making Apple phones here, we're making them in China. Why are we doing that? Because the government's allowing these people to do it. That's why. And the border, whether you build a fence or you build a wall, these people are pretty industrious. They'll figure out how to get under that. What we need to do is start enforcing the laws we got on the books. That's what we need to do. So folks, please visit my website. It's chrisjoseph.com. I'll be around here. My wife and I will be here to answer your questions. If you believe those things are vitally important, please talk to me, join me, and help me win this race. Thank you very much.
That was the last congressional candidate, so we're going to break for 15 minutes. So before they have to take off their press uniform, so take advantage of it, speak to them, get a fish play, talk to your neighbors.
Fish. I have a service dog. They train PTSD dogs.
Oh, you're funny. You're really funny, but I like that. Sophia, she's our
Yeah, I gotta go to training.
I believe that's what we need for outsiders because if you're affiliated already, with the working system, all you want to be is a yes sir to the head office. We
Okay, I got a bunch of them. Look, that right there.
That's the one that I was looking at, looked interesting. Yeah. When she was announcing it, you know, I was like, that one, like you said, the recipe one, I can get that anytime. Yeah. Go online and just, especially if I need, what is this, sponge cake? What she said they were, like 20 sponge cake recipes, I'm like, I don't need a sponge cake. Okay, that's how I
But still.
Good job up there.
I tried. I didn't know he left me to dry and not tell me it was only 5 minutes long.
Yeah, that works.
You guys here
I wasn't really slow.
I think so.
I can do that quick fast.
for being here. Yeah, oh, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or everybody knows him.
Some people have to know.
He said some people might not have wanted to know you. Or face you.
No, I'm glad I know you. I'm glad to know you without the rush on.
I have no record.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to keep that.
I will. She had a likeness right on Thursday, so she called me. We're out there to take care of it. She called me. Why did I get it? Thank you so much for getting me through so fast. I don't know what I did to get them there that fast. I said, well, when somebody's favorite aunt, you can get things a little faster than everybody else. And she said, well, good. I'm glad you're my favorite nephew. Each time I called you, she never.
Alright, we're gonna go with County Commission District 1. Candidates supplies, we'll start with Mark Cotton and follow the alphabet. If not, we'll do a coin toss. You Sam, so Mark and you. Sam's in the bathroom. Okay. Sonny's got 5 minutes to get out.
This side.
Yep, stand up here a little bit so Mr. Wayne Goblin can see it.
I'm Mark Cotton, candidate for County Commission District 1. Lived in the county all my life. You can't hear that? That's all I do.
You gotta talk loud.
Thank you for being here. It shows that you care about our county and our future, our politics in general. I've lived in Stump County all my life. I've been referred to as the old guy in this race. I've got a little gray hair starting around the edges. My wife says she says it's not gray, it's silver. But I'm proud of it. It shows things I've learned over the years. Dealing with the government, being in business for 32 years here. All spot, kind of got started there too. I think, again, I'm proud of that. I've got a wife of 28 years, 3 daughters, all of us are here, born and raised in the county, parents, her parents, and 4 grandchildren. I was raised with only sisters and my mother. My father was there, but it was mostly girls, and when I was at home, I learned to listen. I learned to listen a lot. It's all girls. I married one, not a sister, but a girl. And we had 3 daughters. So I learned to listen some more, and we had 3 granddaughters. So I got really good at listening, and I intend to listen to the voters of the county. I'd like to see more job creation and a little different perspective on our economic development. For instance, up here, and I've said this before, I'd like to see a little more value-added industry here. We sell peanuts North Central County for 19 or 20 cents a pound to somebody who sells it for 3,000 or 4,000% more than that. $6 or $8 a pound of peanut butter. I'd like to see that value added in our county instead of shipped off to Georgia or up in Alabama somewhere. I'd like to see a 60,000 pound trailer full of peanut butter coming out of Allentown that's worth $250,000 rather than raw peanuts being shipped away from here at $12,000 a pound. I'd like to look at things differently than we've always done. I think from time to time a new perspective is good to have. I plan on being here the rest of my life. My family's all from here. We've got 4 generations from my granddaughters now, 5 generations here. And the ones that came before that are just over the line here, not far east over the county line. And been in this area for a long, long time, care about it, love it. And I appreciate your consideration. And any more information you'd like about me, go to markcotton.com. Pretty simple. Got a cell phone number on my card. We got cards available with us. I'd love to hear from you, hear ideas, and anything you'd like to talk about. I listen all over the county right now, and I think that's what we should do. Mark Cotton on August 30th would consider me. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for the Historical Society for putting this on. And thank you to each and every one of you for coming out today, becoming educated on the issues and the candidates. I'm going to take this time to tell you why I'm running for county commissioner. And to do that, I'm going to take a little journey back to my childhood. I'm going to ask you to do the same. I was raised right here in Santa Rosa County my entire life. When I think about my childhood, the memories that come to mind are those afternoons sitting on the creek bank or out on the boat fishing with my dad. Those school mornings waiting for the sunrise in Blackwater, turkey hunting or deer hunting. Those once-a-month camping trips with Boy Scouts. Or those Friday nights getting to play under those big lights on the football field. And I'm sure many of you share those same fond memories. When I was growing up, my dad used to say, Samuel, if you want to fix something, you work to fix it. You don't complain about it. Now I'm raising my 2 children in this county. And I want them to enjoy the same fond memories of their childhood that we all got to enjoy. The thing is, I think we can do things a little better. We can improve upon some things. Each and every one of you have issues that are near and dear to your heart, and many of them overlap with everybody in this room. You know, I was very blessed to get to serve the community for nearly a decade with true heroes, such as Mr. Cassidy's son at the Sheriff's Office. While I was there, I started watching what was going on, and I said, you know, there are some things that can be done better. So I did like my dad taught me, and I started working. And I did that by going back to college for 2.5 years, on top of having a bachelor's degree, and I earned a master's degree in public administration.
so I could better understand how we could improve upon things. Now I'm willing to work to help you. Every one of you in this room have probably experienced to some level the same thing my family has. And that's children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, or cousins that have had to move away so that now we only see them on holidays or occasional weekends. Because they wanted good, high-paying jobs, and there just weren't enough of them here. Well, I want my children and everybody else in here that has children or grandchildren in their generation to be able to look forward to having those high-paying jobs for when they get out of high school or college, so that they can come back here to Santa Rosa County and raise their children to have the same memories that we all had growing up. So I'm willing to sacrifice my time and work to help everybody in this room for the benefit of the generation coming behind us. The same reason we've all went to work our whole lives, so that our children could have a better life than we had. I'm asking for your help, because I need your help in the ballot box. I need your vote so that I can go to work for you. My name's Sam Parker. If you have any questions for me or would like to learn more about me, please do so. You can visit my website, votesamparker.com. And again, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for hosting this event.
Okay, now we have County Commissioner District 3. We'll let Marvin Fowler, who's the challenger, to Don Salter.
I don't think it'd take too much introduction here, because most people here know who I am. And I've been here, I discovered America about 15 miles north of this place. Went to school here till I was in the 5th grade, and moved to Pace. There, I raised my family. I have my wife, and we have 11 grandkids now. And I'd like to really speak about my experience. I've served as county commissioner here when I had darker hair, my younger days, inexperience. I've been through the school of hard knocks at that time. And with that experience, I can put it to work the first day I go to take office. Also, I served on the Pace Water Board for 20-something years. During that time, we started the sewer system in Pace, which caused the growth in Pace to be possible that it is today. And we sit in meetings sometimes at 12, 1, 2 o'clock at night. That was without pay. That's because you wanted to give something to your community, try to help someone else, and that's the reason I'm running for this office. I want to be able to listen to you and be able to listen to your needs, and I want to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. And I feel like I can do that. Some of the goals I would like to see happen would be to have term limits. None of us is indispensable. We're not put here to stay, but there's plenty of people to go around and share the load and responsibility. I'm not running for office for popularity or prestige or any of that, but I'm running to give what I have to the people, to give back because of the quality of life that we've had here, and I'd like to see that maintained. We're going, I feel like sometimes in the opposite direction of what we need to be, and I feel like by changing some things, we can do that. Also, I'd like to be proactive on growth. When serving with the water system, we forecast our needs, the expansions, the needs for growth, and we funded and we built to meet that need. We didn't wait till it happened, and we needed it before we started doing something about it. So that's what I feel like we need to do about the county. As far as the courthouse is concerned, there's not a question here. I think everybody in this room would agree that we need one. I do support the tax. That is the best way to pay for it. But I will tell you right off, I am not for another 5.5-cent sales tax, for we don't know where it's going. I mean, if we're big enough to ask you for your money, we should be big enough to tell you where we're going to spend your money. So I would like to be able to keep business in the county. You know, there's so many times that we built buildings in the industrial park. We invited people to come in, set up business, and we give them a tax incentive for 5 years, and then they move down the road. To me, we need to make the better tax incentives up to 10 years. Give them a break, get here, get started, but give them a longer incentive to stay here. If we keep them 5 years, we're going to be able to keep them longer and be able to give jobs to these kids. I appreciate the school system doing what they have, because they are focusing more on vocational skills now than what they did earlier. When I went to school, everybody needed to get a degree. But when the guys came back from Vietnam, a lot of them had degrees, they were flipping hamburgers. So that's not what the kind of environment that we want to provide for our kids. We want to make the jobs stay here, be something that you can retire from. And the reason I'm running for office is to give you a choice. I don't want you to be stuck with anybody, but you have an opportunity to choose on this election. And that's what I'm asking you for on August 30th. One of the things, you know, what brought this country great back during the Depression and stuff, they either used it up, they wore it out, they made it do, or they did without it. So there's a lot of ways that we can tighten our belts and focus on what we need, what is our needs, what is our wants, and then you've got to weigh the balance there and give the needs, what the needs is the first thing you need to do. And also, you know, most of the time, you use credit to buy stuff that we want but don't need. So what we need to do as a county, we need to spend that money as if it's coming out of our pocket, and that's what I'll expect to do. And I ask for your vote on August 30th, and thank you for coming today. Thank the people for making this possible. But what is so really depressing is the fact that you don't get any more involvement of the community than what we have. But I do appreciate everyone coming. So the Lord bless you and keep you. Thank you.
County Commission District 3, incumbent Commissioner Salter. Yep.
Thank you, James. Thank you for being here tonight. I am a member. Every year, Bobby comes and preaches and makes me pay my money. We appreciate what you've done. Most people know me. I'm Don Salter, Senator with the County Commissioner, District 3. I've had the privilege to serve you for the last 16 years. I'm married to my wife, Kay. We just celebrated our 46th wedding anniversary. We live down in Pace. On my birth certificate, it says Jay Clark. My sister is with me tonight as well to prove that we are from Jay. Actually, Shemukla, but back then Shemukla wasn't a town. It's not a town today. Anyway, I am from this part of county. Over the last 16 years, I've worked hard to create jobs and protect our military base. Naval Air Station Whiting Field is a $1.2 billion economic engine in Santa Rosa County. In 2004, we did what we call a joint land use study, where we looked at all the property around that base and the outlying fields. We are now able to work with the Navy, the state, come up with money to purchase conservation easements around that base and protect it from future closure. And I will tell you this, with Congressman Jeff Miller retiring, whoever's running for Congress, we're going to be losing a strong military voice for the military and our veterans. So whoever replaces Congressman Miller, you're going to be a rookie. And you're going to have to build those relationships very quickly. And you're going to need somebody back at the local government level who understands and have worked hard to create programs to protect your military bases. And I am that person. I have 25 years experience working to protect our military, creating jobs. But since we're in Jay tonight, 16 years into 5 minutes, when I was first elected, I put together little focus groups throughout the north end of the county. First group I met with was Shemukla. They said, we want a Shemukla Community Center. I worked with them and we built the Shemukla Community Center. A few years later, the paper company close the roads, the web and ties the landing to prevent people from going fishing and hunting. I worked with the county attorney and some citizens up in that area. We, the county, the citizens, we were able to get the paper company to sell us those road right-of-ways so those boat ramps would reopen. And we now, the citizens own those roads. We don't have to worry about them closing. Same thing happened at Sandy Landing. That was a West Florida Water Management boat ramp. It was a paper company road. County maintained it. Every prime deer season, paper company would close Sandy Landing. So I was able to get with the paper company. We acquired a new road easement extension of Shamucka Spring. So you now have your own boat ramp, and you don't have to worry about anybody closing. I work closely with the town of Jay. Every year, I make sure that we, the county, contributes $25,000 a year to Jay Recreation. But most of the kids who use that park are from outside the city limits. So we, the county, should do our share to help Jay. One of the most significant events to occur in Jay over probably the last 5 or 10 years is when Baptist Hospital tried to sell the lease of Jay Hospital to HCA, who's out of Miami. And the plan was to downsize Jay Hospital, make it an outpatient clinic and not a full-service hospital. I worked closely with Dr. Smith, the Jay City Council, the effort so the Board of County Commissioners would not agree to change that lease and keep that hospital in Jay, Florida. I have served the north end of the county extremely well in my mind. Whatever the needs are, we've met them in the past. And I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you. Vote Don Sutton.
Okay, we've got 2 elections left, so we're gonna go with Sheriff next, and we'll start with Robbie Wade, since he was first here.
Wait.
Huh? Albert, he's here? He didn't check in with me. Well, I'm sorry, we have a third commissioner, Mr. Albert Hinton.
We'll do it together.
I'm sorry, Mr. Albert, nobody told me you were here, so I didn't have you on my list. Yeah, but I wait for people to show up afterwards, but I appreciate it. All right, I'm sorry about that. We got time.
I forgot what I'm going to put.
We got 5 minutes.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dave, Historical Society. I'm Albert Hinton. I was born in Briston, Alabama, and raised right here in San Diego County. I married Kathy Dozier. We have 4 daughters. Cotton ain't got nothing on me. And 4 grandchildren. I decided to run as no party affiliation candidacy where I would be on the November 8th ballot, so I will not be on the ballot this time. Coming up to election is about the issues going on now, and I will face the winner, Mr. Crowley, Mr. Crawford, in November. One issue I'd like to address is courthouse tax, ad-temp sales tax. I think it's entirely up to you. If you want the courthouse in downtown Milton, if you vote for that tax. If you don't want it in downtown Milton, vote against it. If you want the other half of the tax, not knowing where it's going, vote for it. If you don't want to get it until you know where the money's going, vote for it later. We will need both those taxes eventually. I will not vote for a property tax increase if I get elected to county commission. Thank you very much.
Right now we'll be sharing. Sorry about that. So we're going to start with Mr. Robbie Wade. And I apologize for...
That's okay.
It's
It's a
my fault.
great day in Jay. How y'all doing? I'm Robbie Wade. I love Jay, Florida. Every time I come up here, my blood pressure drops. But, yeah, I'm a candidate for sheriff in Santa Rosa County. I'm very passionate about Santa Rosa County. I've lived in Santa Rosa County for 28 years. I've raised my family in Santa Rosa County. I have 2 children, a wife sitting back there. She's hiding right now, but she's been there with me through thick and thin. I've been in law enforcement for 34 and a half years. So I do understand concerns, wants, and needs. I am that man for the job, and I will make you a great sheriff. Before I get going, I'm going to tell a story like Sam did a while ago. I started this journey as sheriff about a year ago, and it's been a long year. And I met some great people along the way, and I truly adore them. But I met this one gentleman at the Peanut Festival last year, and he was a pair of duckhead overalls, which y'all can all relate to that. Had a cowboy hat on, and his boots were above his jeans. A nice guy, looks like my grandfather. Kind of reminded me of my grandfather. So we had a line at our tent. It was out in the aisle. I couldn't believe it, actually, but he was there. He waited in line patiently to speak to me. So when he got to me, he laid his head down, and I couldn't really understand what he was saying. And I said, sir, and I had to really get close to him. He said, are you not interested in politicians? You're going to tell us you're going to be elected, you're going to come back and see us, or are you going to forget us? I said, whew, good question. I said, no, sir, I will never forget you in jail. And I think he can tell you today that I've not forgotten him. I've been to see him a lot, and I really admire him. He's a great man. So enough of that, but on to law enforcement. I know we have a problem in Santa Rosa County. We have a serious problem. Meth heads are running wild. They're coming up in this part of the county. They're coming from across the river. They're coming from Alabama and Midland County. I have more route. We have got to get serious about it. And in order to do that, we got to be proactive. We got to get aggressive in law enforcement, from the law enforcement standpoint. And I hear all the time that we never see nobody in law enforcement in jail. And I hear it routinely every time I come up here. And that concerns me, the law enforcement officer. I don't understand why that is. But I can assure you, if I'm elected, you will see law enforcement officers. And if it's continued to go on and they continue to drive their little businesses up here, selling meth, drugs, whatever they're doing, bring it in your home, I'm going to turn the heat up on them. And they're going to hate me in 6 months. I promise you. If I have to, I'm going to bring the office staff out. I get a uniform. I'm not above doing my job. So I'm telling you right now, we're going to get serious with law enforcement in Santa Rosa County, and I do and will appreciate your vote on August 1st. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, we got Chris Roper. Is Bob Johnson made it? No? Okay. Then Chris Roper will be our last candidate speaking for sheriff.
Thank you, James. Thank y'all for being here. I'm glad that you're here because y'all are the employers. We are the applicants. You have 3 qualified applicants. You need to research and do exactly what you need to do to see who would be the best for the job. So we'll go ahead and tell you that some of us have a little more education than others. Some of us have more years experience. Not that we're older, you know, and did it for 34 years. I was right here with you as a state trooper and patrolled your highways for 34 years and was right with you for your concerns and your care. As it goes for experience, I was the one that's got the most experience. Make sure when you go to the polls that you have a person that has your interest at heart. So when you go there, remember that you always have the person who's been with you their whole career. Now, 3 things that I have on my platform is I want to always, first and foremost, put our children first. I want to put the school resource officer back in the middle and elementary schools. I want to be proactive in drug interdiction. Let's do that. The last but not least, as always, I will support and defend your constitutional rights, especially your Second Amendment rights. With that being said, folks, I've had humble beginnings. I was born and raised on a dairy farm in North Carolina where words like God, family, country were installed in me at a young age. After that, my father joined the Navy. I was taught respect and discipline. At the young age of 23, I joined a state law enforcement agency. They taught me courtesy, service, protection.
These are words I live by. These are words that made me a great public servant. I want to continue that service as your sheriff. I don't make any campaign promises, but I will tell you this, that I will work hard and that I will do my best to make Santa Rosa County a safer place where you and your family can grow, work, and play. So if you would, on August the 30th, please vote for me, Chris Roper, for sheriff, and may God bless us all.
Sorry, multitasking. And, Mr. Donnie Spencer showed up, clerk of court, and so I thought I'd let him have a minute to speak. He's running unopposed. And so he can come up, and you can have 5 minutes to tell everybody what you're doing. And then we'll move on to the tax collector, which will be the last of the candidates tonight.
Thank you very much. I'm Don Spencer. I'm the clerk here in Santa Rosa County. I've had the honor for the last 3.5 years to serve Santa Rosa County in this position. I'm running unopposed, so again, I want to thank you. That's telling me we're doing a good job for the county. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. It's been 4 years since I spoke with y'all. I'm born and raised in Santa Rosa County in Milton. I went to Milton High School through 10th grade. 11th grade, I went to Marion Military Institute up in Marion, Alabama. From there, I went to Florida State, got a business degree with major risk and insurance. Worked for the Department of Financial Services for 24 years. I left there when I was 52, went to the Law Enforcement Academy over in Okaloosa County. Went to Hall, hired me to work for the Sheriff's Office. I worked for the Sheriff's Office for 24 years, and at that time I decided to run for the Clerk's Office. And with y'all's support and Jay, y'all helped me get this position. I want to tell y'all a little bit about what we've done over the last 3.5 years. We have gone completely paperless. Our judges no longer have files. Everything's done through a judge viewer. We no longer have to order file folders. We're saving $10,000 a year and not having to buy file folders. We're saving over $500 a month by not having to buy paper. We've got it so efficient, we have counties throughout the state calling Santa Rosa County, how are you doing this? How are you setting this up? When I ran, one of the things I said is I want to put Santa Rosa County on the map. We've done that. We've had the Supreme Court from Arizona calling us, wanting to set up a system like we've got. We're on in this circuit, we're the most advanced county in First District Circuit. They're following our model. We have set up a collections department that has 2 individuals to collect on outstanding fines and fees that may be as old as 20 years that people have not paid on. We've got $3.7 million in our collections department. We're averaging collecting $100,000 a month. It's not fair for me to make an individual pay their fines today or yesterday and not make somebody 20 years ago that was supposed to pay them then not pay them. So I treat everybody the same. It's what y'all elected me to do. We've also got 100% accuracy rating from FDLE on our computerized criminal history audit. What that does, when these individuals come through and they are declared by the court system that they have a mental problem or mentally unstable, we send that report to FDLE. So they are audited when they apply for a firearm, they don't get the firearm. Prevent certain things that have happened through this country where individuals have gotten firearms that should not get them. It's a responsibility that falls on the clerk's office, and we take it very seriously because we want to protect our citizens in Santa Rosa County. But again, I'm Don Spencer. I'm also your comptroller for Santa Rosa County. We pay all the bills for the county commissioners. We have put the bills on our website that are over $10,000 a month, so anyone can get on our website and they can see where the county's money's going. We put every bill on there, it inundates you. You wouldn't be able to see it. So we set the dollar amount at $10,000, everything on big purchases, you're able to see on our website. That way you can see where everything's going, keep eye on our county's finances. But again, I'm Don Spencer. Thank you, and I'm honored to be able to serve you again for another term. Thank you.
follow all these great speakers we had today. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Thank the Jay Historical Society for hosting this event. My name is Dustin James Matthews, and I'm running for Santa Rosa County Tax Collector. I'm a lifelong resident of Santa Rosa County, born in the Allentown community. I'm married to both my wife, Miss Mandy Matthews, 10 years ago. We have 2 beautiful daughters, Lily, who's 8, and Lacey, who's 6. Being the youngest of 4 sons, being raised on a farm, I was taught the importance of hard work. My parents instilled in us that through faith, honesty, and hard work, we can achieve all things. And I've taken this with me throughout life. After high school, I went to work for a local road and bridge contractor named Anderson, Columbia. I started with them as a laborer on the concrete. When I was 21, I was promoted to a project superintendent. I'm currently 31, and I'm the area superintendent. I oversee all projects in Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, and Camden County. 30 years I've had the opportunity to oversee the personnel, manage time and budget on projects ranging from $1 million to $50 million. I will take this same blue-collar work ethic and faith, honesty, and hard work with me into the tax office. I want to create a teamwork environment in our office. I'll have the willingness to listen, learn, and take advice from the employees, because who knows better about what works and does not work than those who are on the front lines every single day. We're going to better educate our employees. Okaloosa County created an online continuing education program that is available to every employee in the office. Okaloosa County is taking over 4,000 of these courses. Santa Rosa County is taking 195. This is an area that I feel that we can't fall behind in. We're going to increase our online presence through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We can achieve 2 goals through this. People today spend 53% of their time on a mobile device. We can better inform the public on the ever-changing policies in the office. That way you know exactly what paperwork and documentation you need when you come to that office to take care of business. We can also increase our online transactions. The more online transactions we can receive, the less congestion we'll have in our offices, allowing our staff to better serve each citizen. When I started this journey back in January, I had 2 goals in mind. The number 1 goal being from the north end of the county was to reopen our office 5 days a week here in January, and to reopen the drive-through in Milton, both of which our government has done within the past 3 months, and that's a positive. So there is a positive on this front. As tax collector, I can't make many promises, but I can promise this community one thing. If elected on August 30th, this office will not be reclosed 3 days a week, and we will add another employee to this office. Today's day and age is not safe for any employee to have to work by themselves. I hope that you'll consider me on August 30th, and it'll be my honor to serve as your next tax collector. Thank you, and I'm Dustin Matthews.
Okay, and now we have Sting, Colby Nichols, and incumbent basketball.
Thank you, Jane, and thank you all for coming here, and thank you, Mr. Matthews. You've been a gentleman in this campaign, and that's more than it's been in a lot of races, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have my family here. My wife Joyce is a nurse practitioner with Baptist, and we've been married 32 years, and we have 2 sons, Tanner and Bryce. They're both in college. My brother and his wife, Garth and Lori, are here, and my parents, Colby and Frida Nichols. And I learned from Dad, from Judge Nichols, a lot of things about how to be a man, how to say what you mean and do what you say, and you can sleep well at night. And I've tried to live my life that way. When you all elected me as tax collector 8 years ago, our office was in turmoil. Can y'all hear me in the back? 7 people filed to run for tax collector, and when the dust settled, you all elected me, and it's been the greatest honor of my life. And you all asked me, the public asked me to restore the honor and the trust and the respect to the tax collector's office. And I've had to make tough decisions, and I believe I've done that. Right after I took office, we placed dual controls in place to make sure that the cash deposits, your hard-earned tax dollars, were protected. And since that time, we've had perfect financial audits, clean audit. That's a very difficult thing to achieve, and we've been able to do that with the quality controls that we put in place. We've worked real hard to make sure that our staff is the best trained tax collector's office in the state. And the state of Florida has a certification program, and it takes 160 hours to become a certified tax collector professional. And the statewide average is 31% of counties that have this certification. And Santa Rosa County has 78% of its staff with this certification. We have a few people that don't have it yet because they haven't been with us 2 years. You have to be with us for 2 years before you can receive that certification. But of the staff who have been there 2 years, 100% of our staff have that certification. If you've been to our office, you know that they do a great job. We have very well-trained men and women. If we didn't, we'd be having constant complaints. Hardly a day goes by that I don't speak to someone that tells me this is the best DMV/driver license/government office I've ever been in. You know we have a big military presence in Santa Rosa County. So we have people coming into the office and they say, Mr. Nichols, I've done this all over the nation. This is the best office I've ever been in. I would like to think it's because I'm wonderful, but I know that it's because we have great men and women working for us. And I like to think I create an environment that promotes the love for your fellow man and promotes that environment that you do your very best and you're rewarded for it. We try to be a good steward at the tax collector's office, and I try to put policies in place that show we're being conservative and good stewards of your hard-earned tax dollars. And every year I've been in office, we've been under budget, and I've returned $5.2 million back to the taxing authorities at the end of my fiscal year, and that equates to lower taxes for you. So we've got too much government. We need less government. We pay way too much in taxes. Now, I don't determine what your taxes are, but I swore an oath to make sure that I protect that money when it comes to the office, that I get it to the bank, and we accurately make sure that the records are kept, and we're doing that. Speaking of customer service, how much time do I have? Where are you, Jim? Okay. Things have changed in the tax collector's office. We do about 400,000 transactions a year. That is double the amount of transactions that occurred just not long ago. And driver license is the biggest driving force behind that. And when I took over the office, I knew the state was mandating we would have to do this, but if I went ahead and took it over early because it was a problem. If you can all remember going to the driver's license office, they were friendly, they were unfriendly, long lines, and we've taken that and we've streamlined it. And I'm proud of the staff, I'm proud of what we're doing, and I just want to ask you if you have been pleased with this job that we're doing at the tax collector's office. We will continue to always look for the best ways to serve you, and I ask for your vote and support. I ask for your vote on August 15th. Get out and vote early. It's going to start here in just a couple weeks. And again, my name is Stan Coley-Nichols. It's been an honor for me to serve you, and I ask for your support again as your tax collector. So thank you very much.
Bobby, do you have anything to say?
We just have some more fish plates over here. If you've already eaten one, you're going to be hungry tomorrow, you know. Take one home with you. Appreciate you coming. Appreciate all the people who have put up, you've done the work over here to feed us and get paid. So thank you for coming.
Thank you all for coming.
Just beyond yours. I'm going to tell you, she's now standing in front of she's in the paint cloud.
I already placed it.
Yeah, you heard about that? So proud of you.
Hey, Josh.
Y'all must be I was trying to talk to her, man. Why y'all going out there? Mother's in nothing we get on milk. Well, do you want to go to big dinner? Oh, She ate a pizza that was as big as I've ever seen in her life. She made it.
Well,
Took a frozen pizza and made
it
it.
was just cheese, and I put green pepper, onion, and tomato on it, and then extra cheese to mix. So I made a monster pizza. Yeah, there was no meat on it, but it was all veggies and cheese. I was going to eat the spinach pizza, but I thought, I'll eat just cheese and throw my own stuff on it. He's way over there.
You're gonna work for it. You've been there. Really?
He might want to put some eyes on mine and talk. Said it was obvious that I was only
What did I do?
I would say that's a degree of
I found you not getting
Oh, that's everybody running for the
He's a casual.
And then Mike Hill is running against Doug Broxton.
Yeah, Hill and
So Hill and Broxton, and
No,
then,
not Hill and Broxton.
right, but Evers, what has been in office? And now he's going for Connor.
No, I am wrong.
You're joking, right?
Don't you remember we raised money for Hell, man, let me shake your hand, Paulie. I love that church, I live. Good job. Did you get coffee? Get coffee. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. Yeah, I shook his hand. He come over young where on that was. Well, if you'll come down there, you can sure go. Well, I'm not promising. Well, you can sleep in this I'm just talking about if you can't get enough
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I ain't got that much money. I'm not that good at working.
Very nice to meet you.
It's your man Nick at Princeton Street. I'll see something. They have been asked me to give him this experience. So, what do you call it? What am I doing? What do you call it? So you know him about the screen on he got to come down no, but I wanted you to find this device. Great problem. It's a new one, but it doesn't have the range.
Wife of the
It's like $311.
Okay, yes, I remember her face. I remember talking to you, but as it was I need her name again. That's Rita, okay.
We live in Milton, Jersey.
That's very good, very good.
All right, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's nice to see you again. See you next time. Tonight, I think we're headed back into Pensacola. Not tonight.
They need to bring some house.
Y'all been doing all right?
You gotta stop. That's
But you know, if they do that, we let somebody else do it.
They start representing, they say.
He's got a purpose.
I've been pulling that's for 10 years. I guess you know that. Well, I know that this is called LA. I mean, this is LA. I can see where people have a kindred spirit to those words. Well, as they say, the farther north you go in Florida, the deeper into the south you get. A lot of times, you got a lot of folks around in the military. People have to have small businesses. You've got to understand there's so many more of our population of small businesses. And there's a lot of small businesses. They're all business. That's exactly right. They're salesmen, they're mechanics, they're everything. My father grew up back in old time. He was a produce farmer, tomatoes, always had a green thumb. When he got out of that, he still had a green thumb in my hair. So there's no he allowed us to invade his watermelon bed. We took them all, except for one. He said there was one that tried to sneak away from us. He was probably submerged on his we were up there at night, so we had the lights out, some of us were lights I'm still a young guy. She'll be back up here Tuesday night. I would love to. We're gonna have to take off. We got another obligation now.
A lot of people think I say Grant, but Grant, First airborne artillery.
Might have been my dad.
I got noticed
It was actually two different 82nd Airborne.
Yes,
Second
well,
from the 18th. The 18th Airborne is Dragon. Screaming Eagle.
and I'll see you. Good. The second one's in the Marine Corps. I'm down there. The third one is
Well, I was there.
I will.
I was in second army. Ironside. Selling pound pilots. Before I got into engineering, I started. And then before that was my first year. Small. We did and then by the time I was struggling I went to Hawaii. My last tour. An artillery battalion attached to an airborne unit. You don't always get assigned things they put you in your meeting. But it's always fun to get assigned to it. I wouldn't do it now. Last night. Right, I didn't know it was dark. Hitting the road, muddy water, it's almost like that would be the end. I saw you earlier. They all went back to America. First sergeant was called the most just from running. Yeah, we are. Back out the field, move on and enjoy his life.
I'm sorry, I know you're busy. No, I have to tell you, last week, I'm Stephanie.
We're lifetime friends. We work together as champions.
Last weekend. I have to tell you this. I have a recorder on my...
But it's time for him to move on and enjoy his life and retirement and move on.
But anyway,
Yeah, I'm going to keep it going. But I'm going to be more of a hands-on type.
yeah, I got it all.
I'm going to be out here in the street. I'm not going to be sitting in the office. I can't be that. I got to be out here.
Everybody, my phone went on the lowest end per day. I'm like, I'm not...
That's what I do. I want to know what's going on. I met him earlier. Nice guy. Yeah. Very well spoken.
I have friends that graduated.
I'm hearing this. Please,
So,
don't
yeah,
stop.
so I know a lot of people from here too. I even have a coworker. I graduated with Daddy. Very
Okay.
I'm like,
So, from your perspective,
Can I interrupt you 1 second? The guy taking the pictures, that's a quarter that he left on the table.
Good deal.
Yeah, be careful what you say. I don't know if it's still recorded or not.
Okay, I'll get it for you. But we had a job, Ralph and I had a job down at Orion Lake, and that engineer, I can't remember his name, but if I can never get him in a dark alley, I'll beat him to death. side by side, laying 36 and 48 inch RCP. Suck it out. It just pulls the water from under. Found it.
I found it.
All right, good deal.
I got something of yours.
I knew you would have that. I was going to say something else. I meant to tell all of you guys, I have property on Shemuckla Highway at Salter Farm Road.
Okay.
Salter Road turns off of Shemuckla Highway, a mile below the crossroads. Everybody sees stuff there. It's fallow right now. There's nothing there but some dead corn and grass. You can put the biggest sign you can get in there.
You the one that's got the Piggly Wiggly sign there?
Yeah, I want somebody to put a grocery there.
Okay.
So that whole corner, you can go anywhere in that land until the election. Okay. Stick a big sign. Tell all your competitors the same thing. No,
I'll tell you that.
Good night. I was told by Bobby, because I was talking about Donnie. I didn't want to, I started to throw him under the bus and said I better not. Love him, he's been an inspiration to me, and I didn't want to get personal with it, but that's why I kind of. His birthday is there. Yeah, I told him happy birthday, I said happy 45th birthday. 40, yeah. So, he reminded me so much of my grandfather. My grandfather lived on the farm, fed his family on the farm, and he just, when he hit me, and talked to me, and I told my wife what on that day, I said, you got a chance. I got a chance to win this, and he was a big part of it. He inspired me. Well, you got signs all over the place. You got more signs than anybody. I see your poll numbers going up good, and you're certainly in my top 2-3 picks. Eventually, I think you might be the guy. My neighbor says I vote for you, beat me up, and he won't mow my grass. I'm not a valid person now, but I can be. He is. My neighbor is. Just say, hey, guy, I want you to arrest him. Anyhow, before you guys get away, I want you to know that we have property that's good for signs as you're headed to and from Shemuckla. South of Shemuckla, 1 mile, there's a curve, and there's a sign out there that says, we want a grocery store here. I mean, you may have seen it, I don't know. But is it south of the crossroads? Yeah, about a mile. And Salter Road runs down the east side of it. Right. It borders Salter Road. It cuts off part of our 80 acres to make that curve. So that corner is ours. It's fallow right now, and I want to encourage anybody that wants to. I'm not trying to play favorites, but you can put up as big a sign as you can get. Thank you. Especially you or your grandma. Your grandma was Dot. Dorothy Dot. Yeah, I've interviewed Dot before. History down there.
Something else. She's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I love that woman. She's about that tall, and she's probably 75 pounds.
She and Jane and my mother-in-law talked about the 40s down there in the 30s down there in that area. Got them on tape.
Okay.
Good stuff. You gotta listen to your grandma.
I do.
Without you got to go home. Thank you.
I go have coffee for a week.
Okay. Everybody going. How far is it south of that fire farm down on the right? It's on the east side of the road.
It's got a Piggly Wiggly sign.
Yeah.
Can't miss it because it says somebody built a Piggly Wiggly here.
Please put a grocery here.
Yeah.
The whole 4 acres is open. You can go right out in the middle of it.
That's our cost of Brian.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Every day, probably 5,000 cars. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Y'all get us a grocery store.
I've been approached by about 6 people, and of course I was public. That one finally came through in pace, but there were some people that were looking towards the north end, some guys that have lived out in Mississippi, but I hadn't heard back from them.
Have you hear from them again?
I'll let them know.
We're a good, for a small store. We could use it like a dollar store. Let's go north, that's where I just bought 15 acres up there off, what is it, Martin Road? You did? I did. You're my neighbor. Yeah. Where did you buy yours?
At the dead end of Martin Road.
Oh, you're all the way at the end of Martin? Okay.
And there's no neighbors. I look out my northeast corner and there's a cotton field, or a feed and peanut field.
Yeah, I know where you are. So we're before you cross the creek on the left, and my neighbor has your sign in his yard.
Who's your neighbor?
Nichols.
Yeah.
He runs work for trucks. So, and good people. Which is maybe the only reason I would vote for you. Is I trust Patrick. I don't know about you, but he's a sharp guy.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, get your sign out.
I will, sure will. Thank you.
Good luck.
Same day, yes.
Did they find you? Did they find you? Your recorder?
Yeah, came running back. What's everybody doing here? Well, it's probably still running.